If you've been scrolling through endless office chair videos, reading a dozen spec sheets, and still feel that knot in your stomach every time you think about spending a few $100s, you're not alone. I've been there, trying to figure out if a premium ergonomic chair is really worth the investment or just another fancy gimmick. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review I'm going to break down the Steelcase Gesture, the model with the wasabi-colored Connect fabric and low-seat Merle finish, and give you a clear picture of who actually benefits from it and who can safely walk away. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have is the fear of buying a chair that promises all-day comfort but ends up feeling like a stiff board after a couple of hours. The Gesture tries to address that by letting the seat and back move together as you shift, a system Steelcase calls synchrony. In practice, that means when you lean forward to type, the seat slides forward just enough to keep your thighs supported, and when you recline, the back follows without pulling your hips out of alignment. I tested that motion during a full day of remote work, switching between long spreadsheets, video calls, and a quick stretch break every hour. The transition felt natural, almost like the chair was reading my posture and adjusting before I even noticed. Now, let's talk about the adjustability that actually matters on the ground. The Gesture gives you independent control over seat depth, lumbar support, and each arm pad. The seat depth slider is a small lever under the seat that slides the cushion forward or back in roughly a 2-inch range. For taller folks, moving the seat back a few clicks keeps the knees at a comfortable 90-degree angle. For shorter users, pulling it forward prevents the seat from sliding past the hips, which can cause lower back strain. The arms are fully adjustable in height, width, depth, and even pivot angle, so you can bring them close when you're typing on a laptop or swing them out when you need extra space for a tablet. One of the practical strengths that often gets lost in marketing copy is the wheel design. This chair ships with hard floor casters, a tiny but decisive detail if you work on polished wood, tile, or laminate. The wheels roll smoothly without digging into the surface, and they're quiet enough that you won't hear them during a Zoom call. I ran the chair across a hardwood office floor for an hour straight and the wheels showed no signs of wobble or excessive wear, a small thing that can make a big difference in a home office where you're constantly moving between the desk and a printer or bookshelf. Durability is another area where the Gesture seems to back up its promises. The frame is a sleek platinum metallic structure that feels solid but not overly heavy. You can lift it a few inches off the floor without much effort, which is handy if you need to clean under it. The upholstery is Steelcase's Connect fabric, a 100% polyester weave that resists staining and feels breathable. In my testing, a spill of coffee on the left arm pad was wiped away with a damp cloth and left no mark, which is reassuring for anyone who likes a quick caffeine boost at the desk. That said, the chair isn't without trade-offs. The price point sits comfortably in the high-end market, and while the 12-year manufacturer warranty adds peace of mind, the upfront cost can still be a barrier for freelancers or students on a tight budget. Assembly is listed as ready to assemble, and that's accurate. The pieces are clearly labeled, and the instructions are straightforward, but you do need a decent amount of space and a second pair of hands to lift the backrest onto the frame without straining. If you live in a small apartment and don't have a friend to help, you might find the process more cumbersome than the typical flat-pack office chair. Another practical consideration is the chair's overall footprint. The low-seat Merle design gives it a modern aesthetic, but the backrest is relatively wide to accommodate the synchrony mechanism. If your workstation is tucked into a tight corner, you'll need to measure the clearance carefully. I found that the chair needs at least a foot of space on each side to swing the arms fully, otherwise you'll feel cramped during a wide-armed stretch. So, who should actually buy the Steelcase Gesture? If you spend 6 or more hours a day at a desk, especially if you shift between different tasks that demand varying postures, think writers, programmers, designers, or anyone who does a lot of video conferencing, the adjustability and synchronized movement can reduce the cumulative strain that adds up over weeks and months. The hard floor casters are a bonus for those with hardwood or tile floors, and the durable Connect fabric makes the chair a sensible choice for households with pets or kids. The 12-year warranty also makes sense for a professional who wants a long-term solution rather than a chair that needs replacement every few years. On the flip side, if you're a casual user,